for remaining tuned with us. You're watching Smart 24 TV, and my name is Anthony, your host for Financial Markets. I've been just sharing in the former segment that definitely that you need to look out for the debt instruments, and right now I have to say they're providing some of the most lucrative interests on the market possible. And definitely the next question people usually ask is, how can I access these? As I mentioned, they're licensed entities that are able to get you these instruments. They include commercial banks. That's one way. You can go to your bank and ask for a bond or buying a bill or something. And the bills, by the way, the bills also are the other instruments I didn't talk of in details, but these are short term, within a year or less. So you have an instrument for 3 months, you can hold it for 6 months, or you can hold it for a full 1 year, and it comes in at that interest, particularly smaller than the bond interest there, because definitely this is a short term and the other one is a long term, so you should expect that disparity between the two. Now, these bonds, these bills are for the public. There's nothing like they're for the rich people or people who have billions of money. I've told you with as small as 100,000, you can be able to buy yourself a bond, you can be able to buy yourself a bill. And that's the least amount of money, unfortunately, that you can be able to purchase a bond with. But the other way you can look at it is through your fund manager. That's probably Sanlam Investments, maybe you're working with Zeno Investments, maybe you're working with Britam Asset Managers, Genafric Asset Managers. All these are licensed entities by the Capital Markets Authority to carry out trade within these spaces of the debt instruments. And you can approach them and definitely get yourself access to some of the bonds and the bills that have been auctioned. Because when the Bank of Uganda is auctioning, or when it auctions these bonds and bills, you have to go, of course, through the process. These banks, these stockbrokers, these asset managers go to central bank and are able to purchase some of these instruments for their clients or on behalf of their clients. And this is definitely where you can find them. And so I hope you have been able to pick something out of that. As we are struggling with inflation, we are struggling as a country with the central bank rates going up, and also struggling to see that we survive the depreciation of the shilling and so on. The opportunity is still, because there's no disadvantage that doesn't come with an advantage, of course, to a certain party as well. Thank you, and definitely we'll catch more on that. Let's cross over to our stock market. The stock market opens every day, a day at exactly 9 a.m. and closes at 1 p.m. And the data here we share is courtesy of the Uganda Securities Exchange. Now, definitely I'll look at the markets on Friday. As we closed Friday last week, there were only four listed equities that participated in trading. That is those that had some movement, or some of the companies that had top movement. And the day ended with 3 gainers and over 7 losers. Really some sort of imbalance there. But yes, we can work with that. The top gainers were led by Uganda Clays, who came back with a very strong price appreciation of over 11.76%. And that was to a price of 19 cents. And if you remember, Uganda Clays Limited opened the day with the price as low as 17 cents and came to a close at a price of 19.00 Ugandan shillings. MTN Uganda, that is MTNU, came in with a 1.3% increase or price appreciation, closing the day with a price of 187.41 Ugandan shillings as well. That is MTN Uganda, who came in also as a gainer from 185 opening price to 187.41 Ugandan shillings. Stanbic Bank Uganda also came in with a gain of 1.14%, closing the day with a price of 21.24 Ugandan shillings as well. Those were the top 3 gainers on the markets that day, Friday. And when we look at the losing side, we had several counters, over 7 of them, who came out as losers on a daily basis. Of course, this particular Friday. And the bottom losers, from the bottom, we had Kenya Airways, who came out with a loss of 1.3% at a price of 122.37 Ugandan shillings closing price. Centum Investments closed with a depreciation of 1.30% to a price of 304.8 Ugandan shillings. Kenya Commercial Bank KCB also lost by 1.3%, closing off at 1,353.08 Ugandan shillings. And Jubilee Holdings Limited at 7,907.63 lost 1.3% of their price valuation as well. Whereas East African Breweries Limited at 1.3% lost to a price of 5,032.13 Ugandan shillings. Whereas NMG at 1.3% as well lost to a price of 608.65 Ugandan shillings. Those were the bottom 7, the bottom losers, 7 of them, as you can see there on the market. And amongst all these, we see that what recorded the highest volume was Bank of Baroda amongst all the counters that traded on the market, and he traded a total of 2 million traded shares on the counter, while MTN came in second place at 288,800 shares per day on Friday. Stanbic Bank Uganda at 55,700 shares on a daily basis, that is last Friday, and Uganda Clays at 800 shares also came in as one of the people who moved or had some top movement on the market as well. Now, regarding Uganda Clays, you can see there that Uganda Clays Limited came in as a top gainer at 2 shillings gain, and that was from 17 to 19 Ugandan shillings, and that was to about 11.76% of appreciation there. Uganda Clays graph definitely showing their performance over the past couple of months can be of course seen there, and you can see that they came down from 2021 from prices as low as over 6-7 shillings, and right now we are talking about prices over 19 shillings, which is on a yearly basis. There's a great performance there from Uganda Clays. Now, Uganda Clays, as a Ugandan public limited company, deals in the supply of clay products in the, of course, construction work. That is looking at max pans, clay, and roofings, and so on, and is one of the oldest listings on the Uganda Securities Exchange, listed in January 18th, 2000, the year 2000. That's over 22 years of being listed on the exchange. As you see, they traded on a ticker symbol. Their symbol they use on the exchange is UCL, and the international securities identification number for the company is UG00014. And most clays are limited within, Uganda Clays is currently limited within the 15th most valuable stock. It is coming in the position of number 15 in terms of value, and it has a total market capitalization of over 17.1 billion Ugandan shillings. Remember, this is definitely obtained by multiplying the current stock price by the shares, the number of shares that are outstanding within the counter. And they have about 0.074% of the entire Uganda Securities Exchange equity market. And definitely we're analyzing that graph a little bit further. Yesterday they traded 800 in terms of volume with a gross turnover of just 15,200 shillings. But the shares outstanding are 900 million and their market capitalization is 17.1 billion Ugandan shillings. Due to this closing price, we think that there was a recording of 11.8%, over 11.8% gain in the previous closing, of course, which was at 17 shillings. Uganda Clays began the year, however, with a price of 13 shillings. If you look at the graph very keenly and you look for January 2022, you will see that the price was as low as 13 shillings and has since then gained 46.2% on their price valuation, ranking it the first on the exchange in terms of year-to-date performance. And shareholders can be optimistic about Uganda Clays, knowing that the stock has accrued over 12% as well within the last 1 month. That is a 4-week period after this, before this particular show. Now, this is all based on the Uganda Securities Exchange. Now, Uganda Clays is also still the 5th most traded stock on the exchange, whose value is, of course, looking at the last 3 months, May 10th to 12th of August 2022, the total number of shares transacted within this period has been over 6.28 million shares that are valued at 115 million shillings over the period, with an average of 99,675 traded shares per session, and a volume high of 1.5 million shares that was achieved on the 26th of May. But now we're looking at 2 million shares also that were traded last Friday as the top of the other counters. And Uganda Clays, if you look at the history of their performance, just a few days back, looking at their volumes, they have 800 on the 12th of August. They have 136,000 on the 11th of August. And then they have lots of other transactions that they've carried out here and there, with prices averaging between 17 and 19 shillings, and not beyond or less than that within this period. That is data coming in from Uganda Securities Exchange on the counter of Uganda Clays on the Uganda Securities Exchange. And this is a company you should look out for if you are an investor who is looking at using a small budget. You don't have a very huge amount of money. You want to buy, though, huge amounts of shares. This is a company you can go to them and be able to become part of the owners and also be able to grow with them. They have only one competitor on the market who deals in the services sector as well, and that is Kenya Airways. And Kenya Airways currently is on a 2% year-to-date gain, but at a price of 122.37 after losing on Friday. And their current market capitalization is 395 billion for you. Uganda Clays Limited definitely offering you some of the best services when it comes to the clay industry and construction industry. You can be able to invest with them if you wish to, but just to give you a picture of their background and also seeing how they can provide opportunities or not within the stock exchange. Now, that was the top gainer, gaining by 2 shillings, and the next gainer was MTN Uganda. And MTN is the youngest company on the exchange that just listed back in 2021, December. Now, on the listing, the Uganda Securities Exchange in December, on December 6th, 2021, that is when we had the first listing, as you can see there on the graph. And then the prices went down significantly to 160, and then they went back up to 180, and then kept between the averages of 180 and 185. And right now we are seeing that the price appreciated by 2.41 points, or you can call them shillings, and closed at 1.3% gain, up to 187.41 Uganda shillings market price on the stock market yesterday. Now, they constitute a market capitalization of 4.2 trillion, and their market is about 9.2%, 18.2% of the entire exchange. And yesterday they traded, on Friday, they traded a volume of 288,800 shillings, with a total gross turnover of 54.1 million. And you know, this definitely means a lot for the company, and definitely a lot for you and me as investors. Now, looking at their year to date, looking at their 4-week performance, MTN Uganda only gained by 1.3% on a daily. That was on Friday, but it began the year with still a price of 194.99, and you're seeing that this has been able to be cut by 3.89% of that price valuation of 194.8, and that brings them to the 8th position in terms of year-to-date performance. So year-to-date, we are looking at the month of January, the 1st of January, their closing price, and of course also looking at Friday, their closing price, and they're coming in position number 8 in terms of year-to-date performance. However, they are the 4th most traded on stock, and we have witnessed this at least within the recent weeks, that MTN has been able to trade a lot of stock within almost each and every trading day. You will see that they have been able to trade a certain volume, a small volume of stock. And within this period of May 10th to August 12th, MTN has traded a total volume of 11.7 million shares that are valued at 2.18 billion over the period, with an of course an estimation of 185,857 shares that are traded per trading session on average, and a volume high of 2.11 million that was achieved on July 12th for the same period. And of course, when you look at their market analysis, they have been able to trade almost every single day, actually every single day, at least within this month of August. MTN has traded some stock. So if you're looking for liquidity, you're looking for a very active counter, MTN stock is there for you. A very active market. Yes, we can see by going by volumes at least, you can see quite some healthy competition that they're trying to put up against their counterparts. They have no competitor yet on the Uganda Securities Exchange. They are the only company that is listed and is still dealing within the telecommunications industry. And just notably is the fact that the CEO of the company, Mr. Wim van Helput, recently was appointed to be to a bigger office in West Africa by MTN Group to head West African companies of MTN, that is in Liberia, Sierra Leone, and so many others. So this month of August, we are seeing and expecting a new CEO, Madame Slivia, who is coming from Safaricom. And definitely we really congratulate and celebrate Mr. Vim for the work well done at MTN. And now we look forward to the new administration of Madame Slivia and hope for the best as well within MTN. Remember, as an investor, governance, leadership within the company is one of the things you're looking out for. You're looking out for a company that has extremely good leadership, extremely experienced leadership, and this will definitely steer growth and add value to you as a shareholder. You don't want to find a company that doesn't have a very good leadership, kind of administrative or political heads. You need to have them competent, you need to have them experienced, so that you're sure at least the company will make a little bit of profit and be able to survive despite the hard economic times that we are going through. That of course was the MTN stock, and we're going to also go and look at the Stanbic Bank stock, which was a gainer, but later after the break. Remember, our friends here at Altex East Africa are giving you a chance to buy securities across East Africa. That is, you're buying debt instruments, that is to say treasury bonds, treasury bills, and the like. And these you can now buy using your phone without need to access the internet. You simply have to dial star 292 hash and using your MTN line. That is for only the MTN subscribers. And when you do that, they will open for you the account and do all the transactions for you. All you have to do is to deposit your money there and get to know that you've invested in a bond and a bill, and which type of bond and which type of bill and the maturity period. Everything is within that USSD code. All you have to do is to dial star 292 hash using your MTN SIM card, and you will change your life and be able to do something absolutely new and wonderful. Let's take a very, very short break. We return with Stanbic and other counters here on the market. Stay with us. We'll be right back.